This is the story of how Mazda brought its legendary rotary engine back from the dead and turned it into a hybrid system that could reshape the entire car industry. While every other automaker chased bigger batteries and faster chargers, Mazda went in a completely different direction. To understand why this matters, you need to know where Mazda comes from. The company started back in 1920 in Hiroshima, originally called Toyo Cork Kogyo Company Limited, and it had nothing to do with cars. They built machines and tools. That changed in 1931 when they released the Mazda GO, a small three-wheeled truck that marked their entry into vehicles. Then World War II nearly wiped them out, but they rebuilt. And they rebuilt with a mindset that favored risk over imitation. That mindset led them straight to the rotary engine. When the Cosmo Sport launched in the 1960s, Mazda became the only automaker to successfully mass-produce a rotary-powered car. It became their identity. Today, Mazda operates in over 120 countries, sold around 1.2 million vehicles in 2023, and holds roughly a 2% global market share as of 2024. Those numbers place them well below Toyota or Tesla, but Mazda's strength has never been volume. Their loyal customer base keeps coming back for the drive and feel, the Kodo design philosophy they call soul of movement, and the craftsmanship of Takumi builders in Japan who assemble most of their cars by hand. Now here's where the new chapter begins. While Tesla and BYD poured resources into charging networks and battery capacity, Mazda quietly refined its Skyactiv technology and then pulled the rotary engine out of retirement, completely overhauled for modern use. A traditional engine uses pistons pumping up and down, but a rotary engine spins a rotor to generate power. That makes it smaller, lighter, and smoother than a conventional motor. The old versions had two well-known flaws, though. They burned through fuel too quickly and overheated under sustained use. Mazda attacked both problems head-on this time around. Direct injection now delivers fuel with pinpoint accuracy into the combustion chamber, so nothing gets wasted. Redesigned cooling jackets and improved airflow keep engine temperatures stable, which means the overheating issue that haunted older rotaries is largely solved. On top of that, Mazda applied diamond-like carbon coatings to internal components, cutting friction between moving parts and making the engine run quieter and smoother than any rotary before it. The real surprise, though, is what Mazda did with this engine once they fixed it. They didn't connect it to the wheels. Instead, this rotary engine works as a generator. It produces electricity, feeds that electricity into a battery, and an electric motor handles the actual driving. The result is a range extender hybrid that feels identical to a pure electric vehicle, smooth, silent, and instant in its acceleration, but without any of the charging anxiety.
Mazda claims this setup can push a car's range to somewhere between 800 and 1,000 kilometers on a single tank and battery charge combined, compared to the 400 to 500 kilometers most battery electric vehicles offer before needing a plug. When the battery dips low, the rotary engine kicks in automatically, and when it's full again, the engine shuts off on its own. Drivers reportedly don't even notice the transitions happening. An advanced engine control unit monitors conditions every second, adjusting the air-fuel mixture for cold weather, city traffic, or highway cruising without any input from the driver. New sealing technology inside the engine virtually eliminates leakage, which addresses one of the oldest reliability concerns with rotary designs. And because the engine is compact enough to fit alongside a battery and motor, Mazda engineers saved interior space for either a larger battery pack or a roomier cabin. One detail that makes this engine genuinely future-proof is its multi-fuel capability. If synthetic fuel or hydrogen becomes widely available in the coming years, this rotary can run on those as well, meaning Mazda designed it with the next decade in mind, not just the present. The market response has been telling. In Europe, where EV adoption runs high but charging infrastructure remains uneven outside major cities, cities, buyers are warming up to hybrids that deliver an electric driving experience without depending on a plug. Mazda's system fits that gap perfectly. In the United States, where Tesla long dominated the conversation, consumers are starting to prioritize practicality over brand loyalty. And in developing markets like India, where charging infrastructure barely exists in many regions, a car that generates its own electricity while running on readily available fuel could change the entire equation for first-time EV-curious buyers. Mazda plans to expand this powertrain into SUVs like the CX-60 and CX-90 over the next 2 to 3 years, with a broader roadmap stretching to 2030 that includes pure hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and electric range extender models. Some industry estimates suggest that if Mazda scales this technology aggressively, their global market share could climb from 2% to somewhere around 4 or 5% within the next couple of years. Reports indicate that competitors have taken notice. BYD and Hyundai are reportedly accelerating their own compact range extender projects, which means Mazda hasn't just built a new engine, they've pushed the entire industry to rethink its approach. The question circulating among analysts and investors is no longer whether the future belongs exclusively to battery electric vehicles. The question now is whether a smart hybrid system that combines the best qualities of both worlds might actually prove more practical for most drivers on the planet. Mazda didn't try to outspend Tesla on supercharger networks or outmanufacture BYD on battery volume. They changed the terms of the competition entirely, and that might be the most Mazda thing they've ever done.